What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Solana at the request of Zero. It was Zero something, right? Or something Zero. Shout out to you. Solana today, the 30th and final day of April. Here we are. About 8 hours left in this day, sitting here at $83.31. Hit that like button, people. Subscribe. Hit that like button, damn it. Come on now. You can do it. Please. Anyways, it doesn't really matter, man. $83. Here we are, moving sideways, doing exactly what most cryptos are doing. You know, a lot of people compare Ethereum to the altcoin market dynamics, and I think Solana really does have a lot of weight in what altcoins do. And I mean, there's a lot of altcoins that are built on the Solana ecosystem, so it makes sense that that would be true. A lot of coins, all I'm getting at, look like this right now. And the question is, are we going to see recovery? Are we going to see a plunder? What's going to happen? You know, we're at the tipping point where volume is definitely at low levels, or we're at a moment that we could break out. It could be here. It could be another month or two. I mean, we could continue to move sideways. Volume can continue to come lower, but as that volume depletes, as it gets lesser and lesser, we certainly do approach that breakout moment, and this is some of the lowest volume we've seen in months. So I want to look at the short-term stuff, see if we can get a read on this. It's not the easiest to do TA on something whenever you're moving sideways. The best kind of thought when you're in an environment like this is to stick with the trend. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, right? And we are in a lower low, lower high trend. So the thought there, by default, just starting this video off, might be that we break out to the downside, in which case Solana and a bunch of other altcoins might see another leg down. I'm just drawing this. I don't think that we dropped 38%. Maybe we dropped 15%. Maybe we dropped 58% or more. Who knows? But just giving you a rough idea here, that is what it is. You know, we moved sideways here. We were in a downtrend, so we moved lower. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and here we are, still, as far as I know, in the trend. Volume's dying off. We're getting to a point where we could break out, and if we can break out to the upside, that's nice. Even if we break out to the upside, that doesn't mean that we get above this high, so don't get too excited, but even something like this would be nice for not just Solana, but for the altcoin ecosystem as a whole. So let's get into the short-term stuff. We'll zoom all the way out. We'll get into the weekly and monthly time frames at the end here, but the 1 hour time frame, looking at this just right off the bat, pretty volatile. Reminds me of some coins I've seen, you know, today doing analysis on. You know, you're building volume to the downside, not so much to the upside. The RSI seems neutral here. Stochastics seem a little bit bullish, and the MACD is bearish overall. There's hope. There's hope for some bullish stuff. I don't know. We might see some type of selling off, and then we can move back up. I'm thinking that I'm having a hard time imagining that we get above the zero here with the way things look right now, but it could happen. If we can get above the zero, especially if we can get above this kind of trend line in the oscillators here, these lower highs, if we can get above that, I think that would look really good for Solana, and that could, you know, that could take us up. Who knows, maybe that starts the breakout to the upside. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, you're moving lower. I want to take this pivot here, low to high, just see where it takes us. 1272886. Now here's something interesting. You know, typically whenever you find support at the 1272 and you find resistance here at the 886, typically you go lower. But you didn't. You're in a non-kind of typical moment. And not only that, you found resistance at the 886 once, kind of a handful of times, actually. And you're only building higher lows. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting, actually. I don't really mind that. What'd you do here? What about this relative low to this relative high? It'll move right at your golden ratio, bro. Right there, pinpoint. And again, something typical here. It's actually very common in these kind of straight shot moves. You bounce off the golden ratio to go to this golden ratio, but then in that environment, you would expect to go lower, right? Here's your primary target zone, the 1272 to the, oops, sorry, drew that a little bit too big. 1272 to the 1618. Your secondary zone is the 1886 to the 2618. Typically in this environment, there you go. You're accessing the secondary, but you didn't. You didn't. Again, that word typical, typically, you're not being typical here. It's not so typical. We're getting higher lows, kind of a flat top right at the golden ratio zone. I have hope, man. I actually have a little bit of hope here. That's good. Because what's good for Solana is, again, good for altcoins. We want to see that. Again, nothing too crazy. We're not getting there yet, right? We're not talking about prices that are worth $1 billion yet, but something a little higher. We're at 84 bucks. I could certainly see us at this point in time going above this high here. I could see that. Now, as far as above this high, I'm not there. I'm not convinced yet, but we'll see. Very volatile on the RSI. Bullish on the stochastics. There's a bullish premise here on the MACD. You are overall bearish, but there is a bullish premise. 4-hour time frame looking at this here, rejecting the oversold zone, man. You should be getting oversold. But you're not. You're like rejecting it. You have bullish divergence on the stochastics, bullish divergence on the MACD. I don't know, man. What are we looking like? Why did I delete it? Where are we at on CoinGlass here with Solana? Let's see if it loads. If it doesn't load, that would just be typical. Let's see. While we wait, a little ditty. Are we good? Are we there? It's taking way too much time. I don't think so, man. I can do this one for you. Oh. Yeah. Nope. It's not loading. Watched it enough. Let's just go back to this. I'm wondering what the short to long ratios are for Solana. That's effectively what I'm trying to do here, right? It's just not working. My internet is slow. Oh, hey, there we go. Okay, now let's try. No options, my ass. Come on. It's just being glitchy. Let's see if it'll do it one more time. Nope, that's okay. That is okay. We don't need that. 4-hour time frame here. Bullish divergence, and this false cross to the downside or to the upside. We had a false bullish cross, and then you really didn't have much bearish momentum come in. I mean, as bearish as a false bullish cross is, the reaction here that you had, it takes that bearish thing and it wasn't really that bearish. That's bullish. You took a bearish thing and you made it bullish, like potentially very bullish here, you guys. I say very bullish. I should watch the words. Just bullish enough maybe to again take us above this high. That's nothing too impressive, but maybe we come up and we find resistance here. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. Definitely clear for a move up. We might see altcoins get a little relief rally, a little bit of one over the coming days, maybe even over the weekend. Stochastics looks somewhat bullish here. The RSI looks bearish, but it's like you're not doing bearish things. So when you look bearish but you're not doing bearish things, I take a bit of a bullish pause, I suppose. And if you look at this here, you've got these higher lows. You clearly broke out. Clearly you did. Where's the breakout volume? Why are you decreasing in volume? It's kind of interesting. You picked up in volume a little bit, but just overall, like it. Kind of interesting there. What'd you do with this from a low to a high? Let's see. Low to high. Golden ratio bounce. You're not rejecting the 0.5. Man, if you can get above $87.25, if you can get above there, this was a low, this was not a high, and you're going to go above that high. I'm not convinced at this point that you get above $87. And when I say get above, you need to close above. You can't wick. If you wick above it and you close below it, it doesn't count. If you do this where you close one candle and you close back below it, the next candle, it doesn't count. I want multiple candles in a row to close above the 236. If you can close above $87.50 for multiple 4-hour candles in a row, then this is a low. This is not a high, or it's a momentary high at the very best, but you're going to go higher. In which case we could potentially expect to see prices for Solana that are in the range of like a 10% growth or more from here. And looking back here, you've seen some pretty sizable movements from this area at a very fast pace. It can happen fast, man. You had every reason to break down, and you seem reluctant to do so, man. Like, where's the move? It's a little move, sure, but right to the golden ratio, right where you expect to find support. That's not a bad thing. I'm not calling for you to move above 87.25. I'm just saying I do think you're going to get above this high, and the only next fib target to stop you would be this level here. So addressing that, maybe you could even wick above this level here. You get people to think you're breaking out, but then you find resistance at the 236 and then you reject down. That could happen. But if you can close above 87.25 cents 2 4-hour candles in a row or more, that would be very, very juicy. That would imply that we go to $93 to $97. $93 to $97 from here would be a 12% to 16% pump overall for Solana, and that would likely imply 20% pumps or more for the average altcoin. High to low here, found resistance to the golden ratio, right to the 236, right? But now from the downside, this is just from the upside. That's all. You know, it happened one way, it can happen the other way. Interesting. I'm bullish, man. I'm definitely bullish on Solana in the short term. Hopefully I'm not convincing myself of some folly here. The MACD is neutral. It's also not going to be reliable. In a choppy sideways environment like this, it's not going to be reliable. Stochastics are oversold. Maybe it's time to bounce. RSI is neutral as well. Not a whole lot of readings off the daily time frame, but I can't blame you because, again, you're just choppy and moving sideways. Dude, I'm very convinced. Oh, wow. You guys, we actually might see higher prices. We might see higher prices than this high. Hold on now. So we have this. Look at it. It's so perfect, isn't it? I didn't see this at first, but now I'm seeing it. Do you know what it is? Anybody? Know what it is? It's a diamond bottom. This is a diamond bottom pattern. Now, you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh no, it's a diamond bottom. Oh no, we're breaking out. That's bad. Not necessarily. Diamonds are known for breaking out one direction, and they're also, what they're really known for is high velocity moves. Where's the velocity, bro? Where's it at? Where's the volume? In this environment, this is fake out territory. Diamonds are also known, it's like a coin flip, 50-50. Half the time they break out and boom, they rip one direction. Or the other half the time, they fake out and then boom, they rip the other direction, still with high velocity. Still with high velocity. And the measure move of this diamond pattern, you take the low to the top of the pattern. I'm going to get rid of the extension here, if it'll let me. Come on now. You know you want to. What are you doing? Do I do this? Do I click on that? It's taking a second. You know what? I don't even care about that line anymore. We're going to use, oh, now you want to do it. Okay, that's great. Doesn't even matter. We're going to do a extended line? No. Info line. Here we go. Yeah, we can take the info line. We can just do that. Low to high. The measure move, should we break out, that's the breakout point there. I'm pretty sure with the measure move, even if you fake breakout, you still take it from the breakout point at the low side. That'd take you to 110 bucks. And with diamond bottoms, guys, it's a measure move. You don't have to stop here. You can stop lower. You can excel through it. And if we're looking at this measure move for what it's worth, what the hell just happened? It won't. What the heck? TradingView is glitching out on me, you guys. If we look at this measure move for what it is, it doesn't really make sense to stop here, does it? And if we're in this diamond reversal kind of shape, we really could see prices not at $110, but I think something at $117 to $150. We could see something that's just around, probably the lower end, not the higher end. Anything within that range is fair game, but I would definitely think that something around $120 would be within our dynamic here. Beyond the diamond bottom, what would this look like? If we did this, it's like a BART pattern, right? Low volume. I mean, it makes sense, man. It actually makes a lot of sense. Interesting. Interesting to say the least. We take a high to a low. Yeah, Zero, you were saying that you think it looks like it's got some bullish stuff going on. I'm seeing it, man. I see it. Let's actually take this high to this low here. You went up just above your 236. Just above your 236. Here's what you did. You didn't really reject down, did you? You got a higher low. I don't know. If we were to go higher, going just above your 382 is very common. Like not just stopping there, but going just above there. The 382 is directly in line with the measure move of this diamond bottom pattern if we've identified the pattern correctly. And at any rate, guys, my expectation would be, you know, based on that Fibonacci retracement here, my expectation would be that we would get above 112. If you get daily closes above 93 bucks, you're going to likely see prices that are around 120 bucks. And if Solana is going to see that kind of a move, I mean, that's like a 40% move. What's that going to mean for altcoins, guys? We might see a little alt rally. What's Solana doing versus Bitcoin? Let's check that out. I can't imagine Bitcoin's dumping if Solana's pumping. I can't imagine that's happening. That doesn't mean Bitcoin has to be pumping. I just can't imagine that it would be dumping. Maybe it's chilling, maybe it's moving sideways, you know, doing something else. Okay, let's see. Solana to Bitcoin, weekly time frame here. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Bullish divergence on that weekly MACD. That is some nice bullish divergence, guys. Stochastics, I could take it or leave it. I mean, they're bearish, whatever, but so are you in the price action. RSI is bearish as well, but you're at these areas where you have found support at historically. Good things, you know, bad things, you know. Low here to the high there. Looking like you want to reach for that golden ratio. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Fake out territory. You're moving lower. You don't have volume coming in. I guess that is kind of nice. What about this? What about this low to high here? Ooh, interesting. Not super interesting, but interesting enough. I'm going to take this low to high as well. That's all right. We'll take that high. Right at the 1272. Interesting, guys. Also, think about it psychologically. 001, it's kind of like a rounded number. You had a few areas of support, prior resistance for support, prior support for support. It makes sense actually. From a high to a low, I don't know. That's not as significant, but let's look at the daily time frame too now. Let's look at this here. Bullish divergence on the daily RSI. We'll make sure that it is and that it's not a farce. Bullish divergence on the MACD. You got very nice bullish divergence on the daily MACD and the weekly MACD, guys. And this daily MACD is actually just starting to cross green. Man, we might see some stuff happen over this next week to the bullish effect. Now, bullish divergence here, that's one drive, that's two drives, that's three drives. You don't typically get more than three drives. If you have more than three drives, it's not bullish divergence. So I don't like that necessarily. I don't like that. I don't know how to feel about the Bitcoin chart, Sol BTC. It gets me just excited enough while still leaving me desperate for more, is what I can say. It's interesting, the dynamic there. Lower highs, lower lows. I could take it or leave it, man. It doesn't really help me with the analysis. All I can say, and I want to revert back to what we're talking about here, is I do believe, looking at this on a 4-hour basis, I do believe that we'll see prices above $85. If we can get above $92.50, $92.3, if we can get above there on a daily or multi-4-hour closing basis, that would very likely imply that we do see prices not just above $100, but around $120 to $110. So close above 92.3 if you want to be super bullish in the short term. I'm definitely at the least short-term bullish. And the thing that gets me the most excited for the upside, is this diamond bottom. I mean, it literally looks perfect. It's quite literally a perfect diamond bottom. And if we were to have a setup for this to break out and then reverse, it's a pretty good setup right now, guys. And again, diamond bottoms, because they're so volatile in nature, that's just kind of the name of their game. Whenever they break out, you typically see high velocity movements. High velocity down, high velocity up. It's very, very common stuff. Anyways, I got nothing else. I'm just rambling at this point, so I'll end the video there. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.